Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulullah Muhammadin wa ala alihi ashabihi ajma'in. Dear Iman TV viewers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are here at this evening with Iman Talk presenting two distinguished guests, young women of Afghan young women, and they are supporting a great cause. And before we move on, so this is Habib Mohammadi. You're familiar with my face with many programs through Iman TV and Iman Talk. And then I will introduce Gul Makai Popal Saleh, and also I have Fatima Nizami with us. And before we move on, I'm telling you, the reason we have this program is a discussion about the activity and the campaign that this group that end Afghan starvation has. This, inshallah, we're going to talk about that, and they're going to give you different, they cover different angles of this movement and this campaign, inshallah. So before I move on, without further ado, I want to ask Gulma Kaijan to introduce yourself. Gulma Kaijan.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having us and giving us a voice to speak about the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. I am a mother of four. I was born in Afghanistan, but I came to the United States of America when I was very young, and I was raised here. So America became my home. Alhamdulillah, Islam was always something we practiced. Our Afghan culture was always practiced by our family, and we loved our own culture and practiced it. I grew up to be a teacher, an author, and a speaker. Now I'm working with this campaign in Afghan starvation. We have a great team behind us doing great, amazing things to make the end to this starvation happen.
Thank you for that. Welcome to the show. We are very, very glad to have you here. So, Fatma John, you want to talk a few words about yourself?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fatima, as I've been introduced. I came to America when I was 4, and initially we lived in Atlanta, Georgia, then migrated to California, where we have been now for the rest of my life. I'm a mother, I'm a businesswoman, and I am now a part of this wonderful organization this campaign. I'm calling it the wrong thing myself. This wonderful campaign based on basic human needs and humanitarian efforts.
Beautiful. I'm so glad and so excited to have you guys in this show. And as an elder, so experienced working with community. And sometimes it's rare to bring youth under one umbrella to talk about this subject. For some reason, we don't want to go to the root of that. Why is that? But I'm so glad to be part of this campaign that you guys have. Whatever I could do personally, my wife, Saira John, and also Iman TV. They're just open to anything possible we could do for this cause, inshallah, and also to help our people over there. So everything, we just tideless. We're going to start doing whatever we can from zero with you guys, inshallah.
Thank you so much.
So بیننده‌های بسیار عزیز، برای که برنامه ما زیادترش در فارسی می باشه، اما امروز ما دو مهمان بسیار عالی قدر که خود دارم، دیمانایی که هر دوشان الحمدلله هم مادر هستند، هم به حساب در کارهای زندگی خود مصروف هستند و هم فعال هستند، برای مردم خود کار میکنن. اینا خود معرفی کردن. گلمکه جان مادر 4 اولاد است، معلم هم است، در این زمان کتاب هم نوشته میکنه، کتابایی که مضمونهای اسلامی بر اطفال داره. و فاطمه جان بزنس وومن است، یعنی بزنس میکنن. نمیپرسان نمیکنیم چی بزنس میکنن، ان شاء الله پسند آخر پرسان میکنیم. اما در اینا مادر هستن. الحمدلله این جای بسیار افتخار است که مادرای جوان داریم با خود، که اینا که جوانای دیگه یک جای کارهای را پیش میبرن که شما در جریان از این برنامه هستا درباره‌اش میفهمین. خب انشالله پیش میریم. Before we move on, the first question I have from you guys, you can decide who's going to answer. It's up to you guys, okay? The first question, tell me about this in Afghan starvation, or you mentioned that. What's the okay? Somebody else text me. I missed the text that you sent me. Okay. Yeah. So what's this abbreviation sits for? A S.
And Afghan starvation started out by me just putting a post up on Instagram asking if there's anyone who wants to write a petition. This happened in October. I was seeing all these things that were going on in Afghanistan regarding the hunger issue, having no food, no jobs. People can't go to the doctor because they don't have the money to take care of themselves. So it was very, very daunting on me. So I made a post, and there was a few people who replied. One was a dear sister, Florence, and a brother, Mahbub, and their organization, AAOH, who was willing to work with me to write a petition. So that went about a month or 3 weeks. And then I said, we need to move faster. So then I made another post, who wants to do a protest in front of DC? Then that's where Fatima came along. And that's where Brother Nasir came along. And Zila and other people came along, and they said, we want to help. We want to help. So that's when we start just having meetings after meetings. We usually have meetings every Sunday for the whole public to come attend. We announce it on our social media platforms who wants to attend our meeting, because we want to help the people of Afghanistan during this humanitarian crisis. We need to act fast because it is winter, and if we don't do anything, things are going to get worse. So Alhamdulillah, we have come a long way. It's probably a month and a half that we have started this campaign. So everything is still new. We're working very hard to structure a strong foundation. Even in this short time, the blessings we have been receiving from Allah are so great. People come from all parts of the world reaching out to us. Our phones are just buzzing with phone calls, emails, texts. They say, we want to help. You know, this is a unique campaign that we never heard of, you know, any Afghan have. People lobbying for the rights of Afghanistan. So that's how it all started. And here we are, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, that was great. You start such a great cause and campaign. So one of the question was this, actually you covered it. So where did it start? So Fatma John, how did you get involved with this? And I mean, right now, how do you feel about it this far that you guys came together? And what do you think as far as is this group getting stronger day by day, like Gulmakai John said? What do you see this campaign so far?
I love this campaign. And yes, how did I get started? So Brother Mobanam Nasir John, he would, do you want me to talk in Farsi for this one?
Sure.
Okay, برای که گفته بودیم که در رسان باشه. So برادر مناصر جان در اینستاگرام مرا فالو کردن و باز پستای مرا خوش میکردن هر وقت. باز یک دو هفته بعد از من کدام چی نمیکردم که چرا پست میفهمیدم، فکر کردم یا حتما بیچاره دلش میسوزه بر مردم افغانستان. کل پستایم زیاد از وقت جگرخونی می بود که چرا گپ چرا است، چی کنیم که مردم خود کمک کنیم. باز یک دفعه دیدم که مرا اد کرد در یک گروپ. ایت از من پرسان نکرد که میخوایی علاقه داری یا نه، حتما میفهمید که علاقه دارم که امرای از این کمپین شریک باشم. So در نمو قسم دیگه از ما جرنیم امرایشان شروع شده. یک شنبه بود، شنبه بود که خیالم یک میتینگ داشتیم، یک 10 نفر بودیم خلاص. آدم میبینیم تقریبا دمی گروپ ما 200 نفر شده. بخیالم یک سوال خودتانم که با ما روان کرده بودیم که کدام سوپرستارز، کدام سوشال میدیا اکتیویست ما را زیاد سپورت میکنه. سمیرا جان آتش ما را زیاد سپورت میکنه، فیروزه جان ما را زیاد سپورت میکنه، کامران جان جویا ما را سپورت میکنه، حبیب جان قادری، نعیم جان نوابی سپورت میکنه، مجده جان هم پست ما را شیر کردن، وانا جان مسکینیار هم شیر کردن. سو همین مردم که اصلا یک پلتفرم دارن در سوشال میدیا، یک نام دارن، نشان دارن، ازشان تشکری هم میکنیم که سپورت کردیم و شیر کرده پست های ما را.
بسیار خوب بیننده‌های عزیز، قرار که میبینید فاطمه جان به فارسی صحبت کرد داوطلبانه، برزی که یعنی الحمدلله اینا همونطور که گلمکه جان با پشتو زبان مادری خود صحبت میکنه، اینا هم زبان فارسی را که مقبولی نشان میده که اینا خوردن بودن آمدن، اما نوزم به کلچر خود علاقه دارن، به وطن خود، به مردم خود علاقه دارن. از این خاطر شیر و شکر اگر در جریان از این مصاحبه کسایی که ما را میبینن فارسی برآمد، بفهمین که مرچ و نمک پروگرام است، کدام هدف دیگه نیست. الحمدلله و به موقعش گلمکه جانم پشتو صحبت خواد کرد، پشتوش الحمدلله یعنی ما کورز دیدم بسیار مقبول صحبت میکردن پشتوشان. خوب، به هر صورت سوال دیگه که من شما دارم است که what are your short term and long term goals for EAS? Whoever answers it, it's fine with me.
I could answer part and then
Okay.
Fatima could fill in wherever she needs to. So Alhamdulillah, when we created this campaign, Brother Nasir, he was the one who like brought the people power to it. He had the people and I had the ideas. So, and then these people came together. So our short-term goal right now is just to get the people of Afghanistan through the winter. Don't want them to die because of lack of food that's caused by the policies of the United States of America. So we want America to reconsider, we want Biden to reconsider the policies he has towards the people of Afghanistan that's causing them not to have food. This will go with the development aid and the humanitarian aid. So our focus is to make sure that he releases some of these aid to the people of Afghanistan so they could have food and they could have some aid to buy oil to warm up their home, some gas, get medical help. So these are just the basic needs of every human being that, you know, they just need to survive. And our long-term goal, we want to become a lobby group for Afghanistan. We are American citizens, and we are going to use that power to make sure that Afghanistan never comes to what they are right now at this level. We want to make sure there's no wars going on in Afghanistan. We want to make sure that our people are not used as a political gain for their own interests. Our people had enough of war for 43 years. It is time that we stand up and use our American rights. We will go to politicians and we will let them know we are voting citizens. So if you want our vote, this is how you're going to get your vote from us. We have a big Afghan community, and when we unite and become one voice for our people, that's when our people will see some relief.
Beautifully said. I'm so proud of you guys. Like I said before the program, and this cause is actually, it's so vast and it's so important to pursue, because a lot of people right now, this is a lack in the Afghan community. This is lack of whatever I call it, concentration, cooperation, whatever, to create a movement or a campaign like this, especially among youth. And the movements come and go, and in different times I give credit for those people, for those youth. They stood up from the beginning till now in different period of time to just raise their voice, and they have done a great job. I'm not taking anything away from them, but what was missing, we need a long-term goal, like you say. This is not going to be just we just doing something right now, and when things change, we gave up. Because we don't know what else is going to come up in the future. We didn't anticipate this situation. Believe me, I was not even dreaming about it. That we talk together about the starvation of our people. I know that time was bad in past government and before that, but I didn't think after all those countries gone there, monies and different programs and project, but still our people still starving right now to death. And I'm in contact with people in Afghanistan. Believe me, I show you a few pictures, and they're all coming in one spot. There's a bakery, and we have a foundation called Iman Foundation. It's a charity foundation. It's a small foundation, and we just built a non-way there. I mean, a bakery. and people come over there, and actually they're begging for just one piece of bread. And this is what we've seen in revolutionary time, like in France. There was a revolution in France, if you remember, that for one piece of bread, people were killing each other. So I hope that's not the case. And when I say youth, youth, I'm considering other group youth. And you guys are I consider you guys adult, and you guys, what you're doing is totally different group. But when I say youth, I'm saying that's missing. But you guys become the torture and the leader of those people, and the torch of that people can follow you. The other youth you could guide people, you could be a mentor for them. That's what I mean. So I want to clear myself when I mention youth. I hear youth. I mean, you consider youth, but as far as when I'm referring to a specific group. Anyways, the reason I said that long-term goal, when Gulmaka John said, we need this kind of campaign from all ages right now, because this is urgent. This is an emergency situation. And we talk about the actual campaign and voice, that's for a different time. But along with that, parallelly, we can walk that way. But right now, our main campaign is how we're going to feed our kids. And the spoon that you guys mentioned, I'm going to play that clip in a few minutes. And people see that this campaign is all about. We're about feeding our people, find ways and avenues that other people, American people, public awareness that, listen, what's happening right now is a disaster, is a chaos. And we should be just right away jump on and do as much as we can to prevent this, this huge problem. So I confirm what you're saying, that's long-term, this short-term. So the next question I have, how are we gonna unify the Afghan community, and what you guys doing? And I'm sure you guys have taken some steps, but what do you think? What are the plans and what are the suggestions that you guys have? How are we gonna make the community unify with you guys?
I think if we just look at it, break it down to the bare bones, correct? This situation isn't one that is dependent on anyone's ego or on anyone's agenda. If you truly have a clean heart and a clean conscience, this should be the unifying factor right there. If you have food in your fridge and you have a glass of water or anything to drink, that should be the unifying factor. We've brought up Maslow's hierarchy of needs multiple times now. In order for anybody, I know because there's a lot of protests and groups talking about educational rights, women's rights, going to work, etc. Those are all very important, and we as End Afghan Starvation, we acknowledge that. However, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you first have to have your biological needs. It's a triangle, right? The first step is food and water, and then we get to security, and then eventually you get to everything else that everyone is trying to attain. But the very basic need is food and water. And that right there, as long as we all have food and water, we should want that for our fellow Afghans in Afghanistan. And that is the unifying factor. And what are we doing? We're keeping open door policy. We invite everybody to our weekly meetings that are on Sundays. This Sunday, the 19th, there will not be a meeting as there is a protest. But other than that, it's an open door policy. On Instagram, we put it on our story. Hey, we're having a meeting tomorrow at this time. Please join. Everybody's welcome to join our WhatsApp group. Everyone's welcome to be a part of every conversation so that they see the transparency, so that they see the need that we are trying to cover and take care of within Afghanistan, so that people are not dying of something so brutal and so easily to fix like hunger. That's how I feel that we are unifying everybody. And it's not just Afghans, it's everybody.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. And you guys have a good plan for that. Gulmaka John and both of you, what are your hopes from Afghan community? What are you guys hoping that they can do to coordinate with you guys, and how they're going to be able to do that? So can you say a few words about that?
For the Afghan community, alhamdulillah, we have a good response. Those who enter our Zoom meetings, they know not to talk about politics. That's one thing that divides us. divided, we fall. And if we unite, we could help the people. So it's best that, we all stay away from politics, especially the politics in Afghanistan. We are not associated with any of the political movements or militants or any groups there. We are just for the people, and that's what we are working for. How others could join? Everyone, they message us there. They said, what you're doing, we were thinking about. We just want to join because there's no politics in it. That's the main reason people are joining. I think our Afghan people are sick of all the wars. They're sick of all the discrimination. Once a person enters our Zoom page, we don't ask them what their ethnic group is. We don't ask them what if they're Sunni or Shia. We don't ask them any question. The two questions we have: what's your name, and what skill sets you have that you could offer to end Afghan starvation. Those are the only two things we have. We don't know where they live, what they do, what's their opinion about what's going on in Afghanistan, who's they're affiliated with. We don't ask that. Everyone is welcome to come. It might be alhamdulillah, we have people who have different views on the politics, and they're sitting together in the Zoom meeting, respecting each other without any arguments. Like I said, there's a great blessing in this campaign. And I saw it from the first day, because where are these people coming from? They're coming out of nowhere and just sending us messages. We want to be part of this campaign. We want to, because they see it, they feel it. It's Allah drawing them close to us, bringing like-hearted, minded people together to end the starvation in Afghanistan. So alhamdulillah, anyone who has any questions or misconception, or if they had heard any rumor about an Afghan starvation, we will welcome them to a private Zoom meeting, one-on-one. We'll take our time, talk with them, explain everything. It's not an A, B, C thing. It's not a black and white thing. We can say, oh, this is our plan. Like I said, we are new. We have a group, a research group who's doing heavily research to find the best solution to this problem. We are not expert. I'm not an expert. I can't just say, oh, let's do this. I have the good intentions, but it might not be the right intention. So that's why we have our experts who are doing the research, who's calling people, who's talking to experts in the economy, the political, wherever it is. They are asking them, lawyers, what should we do? What is the right path to take? So we're waiting for the final draft for this petition that has the demands of what we should do. So we're not basing it off our emotion. We're not basing it off our ignorance. And we're not just basing it off, oh, well, I have a good intention, so I'm going to help these people. But my intentions are good, but that my action will bring more harm than good. So that's why we're being cautious of what we say, of what our plans are, and how we are going to help the people of Afghanistan. So it will be released very shortly, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Well said, Gulmaki John. I would just summarize it just برای افغانایی که شنیدن گفاره انشالله با پشتو مزمه منوبتش. برادر و خواهرای عزیز، بیننده های نهایت گرامی، شما میبینین که درد از یا و امید از یا از کجا میاد. اینا بر خود چیز نمیخواین. و گلمکی جان گفت ما در اینجا ما از سیاست خود دور نگاه میکنیم، برای که در سیاست بسیاری مردم یکی دیگه خود اوگار کردن و ما کار ما که از بشر دوستانه است و مردم ما در تاپ لاین ما قرار دارن. یعنی ما میخوایم مردم خود به هر شکل باشه کمک کنیم، آوازشان برسانیم. آواز مو بیچاره هایی است که نان خوردن خود امروز ندارن و همچنان هر نصیحت، هر راهنمایی که بزرگای ما دارن ما بسیار با خوبی را قبول میکنیم. که ما مشوره کنن، که ما گپ بزنن، هر چقدر سوال دارن انشالله ما سوالایشون تا حد امکان جواب میدیم. یعنی ما کدام با گروپ خاص تعلق نداریم که یک پلان جور شده باشه. این خود با خود گروپ شده و این گروپ دختر ماست، خواهر توست، مادر توست، کلگی مرد و زن. تو نیست که تنها خانما باشه که موضوع مهم دیگه است. کل یک جای شدن که حرکت برا پرتن. وظیفه من و خودتیست که اینا را پشتیبانی کنیم، راهنمایی کنیم. از تجارب خود داریم، از تجارب خوب و خرابی که داریم، از این تجارب اینا را آگاه بسازیم که بتانن اینا درست قدم بردارن. و گلمکه جان همی آرزویش بود که فاطمه جان که بر ما خواستن که ما شما پشتیبانی میخوایم، منفی نگوین، مثبت باشین، انشالله که ما در این کار خود موفق میشیم. خدا کنه که ما درستم گپایتان به لحن خود گرفته باشم. گلمکه جان I know you know فارسی را میفهمی، وقت فارسی گپ میدم، وقتی گپ میزنی مشکل ما را دارین. Okay. بسیار خوب. Inshallah we can move on. The next question is that the viewers watching this program, if they are interested to help and support, what do you guys, what's the best way they can reach you guys?
They can reach us on any social media platform. We are on all of them besides TikTok and Afghan Starvation. And then only on Twitter, we are And Afghan Starve. Other than that, we have a website, endafghanstarvation.org, where you can find links to our social media, or you can just send us an email, endafghanstarvation@gmail.com.
Very good. So before we move on to the rest of the conversation, if you guys allow me, I'm going to just share that you guys have a few protests. One is in front of White House, I believe, this coming Sunday. Am I right?
Balia.
And also you guys have another protest in London. Is that the same day, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. I will share that with our viewers that they could see what is that. Then we can go from there, inshallah. And also I saw there was a young lady was beautifully talk about, the whole situation, very beautiful and effective. And you posted in your WhatsApp page, I believe. I noticed that, but I leave that for the end, because I know you guys covered those. So let me bring this one and we can go from there. This is interesting. When you guys posted this one, I saw a few comments that this guy is selling his shoes because there's no food, there's no money, and he would rather be barefoot with almost nothing to sell his shoes. That's so sad. If this is the reality for this, I mean, I'm sure people are in this situation. Like you said, people saying they're selling their organs and their kids and children. It's amazing. And look at this picture, and you guys posted, and this is the people sitting in front of the bakery, and they're wishing for somebody to buy him bread. And this is a t-shirt that you guys, this is something that you guys designed in the name of a spoon. Let me bring the spoon. This is spoon, actually the slogan and the logo of your organization right now. Am I right about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, okay, let me go back to So this was the Sunday. And you guys can explain this one because I don't know much about it. So take a lead. Where is this, Gulmaika John and Fatma John? Tell us, where is this taking place?
This will be in front of the White House. There's a park in front of it, which people should come at 12 and meet us there while we have our rally there to tell President Biden, that we want him to reconsider the policies he has towards Afghanistan that's causing the humanitarian crisis.
Beautiful. I like this logo that you guys come up, the hand with the spoon. That's so touching. And this one, you can talk a little bit about this too, because I know it's written there, but it's good that you guys gave more information to the viewers.
So same thing, it's our London protest, and we are also asking that for our protest, please only bring the original Afghan flag. که سرخ سبز سیاست دیگه flag ها رو نبیارینم رایتان از خیرتان کده. If you could please only bring the one flag, which is the Afghan flag, the original one that the entire world recognizes. And then additionally, you can't bring anything, like no chairs, nothing that you're going to have to place on the ground in DC.
Okay, this is for the White House, and that's for that. Let me show one more, and then we can go back to our conversation. You mentioned that already. Who is this supposed to be? This is a non-Afghan, of course, looks like it. And they're supporting Afghans.
Yeah, we had a Twitter storm last week, so our hashtag became trending, so it became very popular. So everyone was tweeting an Afghan starvation hashtag, and they would take pictures like this boy who's a non-Afghan. We had non-Muslims, we had non-Afghans who participated. And another thing about the protest, we also have another protest in Austria, which we're going to share the flyers very soon. And there might be another one in Germany, which we still are trying to finalize with them. So I just wanted to say that if anyone is in that area interested in going to protest.
You guys have done a great job. I tell you already, I see result is coming soon. And talk a little bit about this, who created this and what's the main purpose of this. Can you explain, Fatma John, this one, please? Can you hear me?
You muted yourself, Fatima.
I muted myself?
No, Fatima did.
Okay. Yeah, this one was a great idea. So anyways.
So this is, sorry, I had to just quickly dial in through my phone. I was told my voice was echoing. This is just some part of our Twitter storm. So somebody created this when we were storming Twitter for us. And it's just the empty spoon that's become our symbol. It's not our logo. Our logo is still an empty spoon, but it's different. But this is just another way to show people all the empty spoons and bring attention to it. We're just being creative on social media.
You're muted.
The reason I mute myself, because sometimes when you guys are echoing, I'm the cause of it, because the voice somehow get mixed up. So anyways, this is Zoom situation. We have problem on and off. But anyways, so yeah, so چیزایی که شما دیدین یعنی مردم غیر افغان هم کاز کمک میکنن اطراف. We can move on to our actual conversation. انشاءالله پیش میریم. سوال دیگه که از شما ما دارم این است که the other question I have, some people are concerned that the money will go in the wrong hands. What do you say about that?
You want to go, Fatima?
Honestly, this is a hard question. And to that, I have to say, if we're just going to look at it on a granular level, a complete blanketed starvation of a nation just to potentially avoid the money going into the wrong hands and killing millions and starving millions. If you can find it in your heart that that's correct, then that's the action that you could take. Other than that, this is developmental aid that we're just asking for. If you put the money directly into the hospitals, or you put the money directly into, the bakeries or the people who sell vegetables, etc. If you do that, I don't understand how that could potentially fall into the wrong hands. A blanketed starvation is just inhumane, in my opinion. Other than that, I really don't want to get into the politics of it.
I could add a little more to that, if you don't mind.
Can you elaborate on that too?
Of course.
Well, for the 20 years, the money was going into the wrong hands,
Yeah, I didn't want to say that. That's what I was trying to. That's what I was.
So I mean, what happened now since August? There were sanctions put on Afghanistan, and with the sanction came the assets were frozen, trade was stopped. many of our skilled people had left Afghanistan. So there's many things that just happen, and all of a sudden the value of the Afghani is falling. And it's causing the humanitarian crisis. We also had drought for like 3-4 years in Afghanistan. We are just, it's like what's happening in Afghanistan is someone strangling the whole of Afghanistan at this very moment, not letting them breathe, eat, because of this sanction. So the first thing people should do is educate themselves. You know, I came to with the first time in the beginning when I heard, you know, how the issue was. I wasn't educated about it. So I was just saying, oh, let's just free all the money. But then later I realized that this was not the best option because if we do that, inflations will happen. And everyone will run to the bank, get their money, and then there goes the banks, you know, everything will fall apart. So that's also one of our goals is to maintain the economy. That's our future goal, to make sure we maintain the economy so it never comes to this level again. So I was uneducated about it. Yeah, the heart was there, the passion was there to do something, but it was the wrong action. So that's why we worked on getting researchers to find the best solutions, to talk to experts to find the best solution. And there's also ways. If we go back to the previous Taliban rule before the United States of America invaded Afghanistan, Taliban used to rule at that time, and there were sanctions at that time. And there was humanitarian aid going there. How did it go? Did it go to the Taliban hands? No. If we take the time to study history, we'll see that it didn't go to their hands. What happened was it went through a form of grants. So only the NGOs could get these grants. So it wouldn't be the Taliban who will be getting the grants. So if we just take this time to study, we'll realize that, people have wrong assumption that, it will go into the wrong hands. Are we asking to unfreeze all the assets? No, we're just focusing on the humanitarian aid and development aid at this very moment, because many will die during this winter. So that's our main focus. The least of our worry is that, we are really conscious of whose hand it goes. So yes, we are conscious of that. So that's why we are doing the research to make sure that it doesn't go to waste.
بینندگان عزیز، قرار که گلمکه جان صحبت کردن سوال از اینکه پیسه‌ای که اینا به نام کمپینشان به نام unfreeze the funds نام کمپین است، یه هشتگ از این جور کردن که کلگی امیره یک deadline داره، نه قراره که من میفهم، right? There's a deadline for this hashtag, right? Am I right?
Well, the campaign,
yeah. Okay. Is this possible to extend this one if you guys can do that? Or, I mean, that's one of the questions I had.
No. The deadline is for the time that the World Health Organization and the UN گفتن که اگر تا Christmas past development aid بر افغانستان داده نشه، افغانستان بخی در famine می باشه و بعد از او نمیتونیم که آسان این مشکل رفع کنیم. به سالا میگیره که باز پس بتانیم که اکونومیکس افغانستان در پایش استاد کنیم و مردم کمک کنیم و مردم میمرن. از او خاطر او ددلاین برای زنمو مشکل است که مردم توجه کنند. تنها 10 روز مانده تا وقتی که بخی افغانستان که میگن آگست 15 سقوط کردن، نخیر تنها گورنمنت او وقت سقوط کرد، مگرم 10 روز بعد اگر این مشکل رفع نشه راستی تمام افغانستان سقوط میکنه.
طبعا درباره سوالی که از پیش فاطمه جان و گلمکه جان شد، سوال ای بود که این پول را که شما میخواین که انفریز شوه، یعنی رها شوه یا آزاد شوه که به مردم برسه، این امکان داره در دست دیگرها بفته. باز گلمکه جان مثلا مقبول این جواب دادن، اگه متوجه شده باشین که ما این متخصصین داریم و که بر ما ادوایز میتن و ریسرچ میکنن، میگن که در گذشته حکومت گذشته طالبا که بود بازم با مردم کمک ها میرسید از طریق NGO ارگانیزیشن هایی که فعال هستند داخل افغانستان، هنوز هم بعضیشان هست، اینا کوشش میکنن این کمک ها را و حساب چنل کنن از طریق ازواق و مردم برسه. این برداشت ما بود از صحبت‌های گل مکه جان و اینا در این قسمت سوال دیگه که از مطرح میشه. I'm going to ask you another question, and this question comes up and a lot of people I'm sure they're thinking about that, because right now you're not working for Taliban, you're not working for United States of America, you're working for people of Afghanistan and for their cause, for voiceless people of Afghanistan. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Inshallah, that's the case, right? So, but now, in order to make this one effective, and we have to consider other aspects of this campaign as well. And one of them is this, as I mentioned before, that if you can just go through private channels, and it's going to be a situation the economy of Afghanistan will just, becomes worse than what it is right now. So the dollar value goes up and Afghani goes down, and that's going to create a big vacuum of economy. So now the question is, aren't you guys opening any channels to communicate with current government of Afghanistan, Emirat Taliban, that they also understand that what you guys doing? We're not talking about the actual fund that people talk about, $1 billion fund. That's not a humanitarian fund. That's the backup of banks, and that's a military and security fund. That's not everything we want, right? So let's be clear about that. Are you guys after that fund, or this fund is just for a humanitarian fund? Because this should be distinguished. باید فرق شود که شما برزو پول را کل دهان سرش گپ میزنه که امریکا فریز کرده سر ازو گپ میزنین، یا سر ازی که چی رقم مردم امریکا یا کانگرس یا سنای امریکا راههای را شما پیدا کنین که مردم به حساب از حالت نجات بدین.
So اول سوالتان I will go ahead and answer it. نخیر، ما امرای امارات اسلامی contact نداریم. No, we do not have any contact with the government of Afghanistan. We have contact with our families who tell us about the situations that are, occurring inside Afghanistan, how everybody is struggling to find food. Those are the people that we are in contact with, as we are a humanitarian campaign. Secondly, we are United States citizens. It is the United States that is causing these situations and this problem within Afghanistan. So we are using our U.S. citizenship and our love for this country to say we want the same thing for our national country as well. That is, I hope, in short, the answer to your question.
Next question comes that Afghanistan and Afghan people are starving for years. And even in last regime or government, you call it, still people were, starving left and right. We have seen it. We've been witnessed. But the question is that why you guys started this, and people ask, I don't ask, why you guys started this movement or this campaign right now, not before?
That's a good question, and we're open to any questions, and we welcome them. All the members of this team, they always were helping the people of Afghanistan in their own way. They support organizations, they volunteered in different ways. I think it just came to a boiling point when we all said, this is enough. It's enough. Our people had enough. And we thought about what is missing. What is missing that needs to be done? A lobby group is missing. We don't have a lobby. We don't have anyone advocating for our people. And that was missing in the United States of America. And it's the United States of America who's making these policies. And that's why we decided to come together. And this is the way. That's why we're blessed to be calling ourselves Afghan and Americans. We have the choice to speak up. We have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to vote. We have the freedom to protest. We have the freedom to do many things to make these policies change. So alhamdulillah, that's why it just happened to be right now that we want to lobby more. People were always starving, but it was not on the brick of famine. That is a difference. People were hungry, they were poor because of the 43-year war, but now it's coming to a famine. When a famine happens, it takes decades to reverse. And during that time, millions of Afghans will pass away because of starvation. And that death of starvation is not very easy.
Tashakkur. Thank you so much, Gulmaka John, for your answer. یا افغانای بسیار عزیز، برادرها خواهرای عزیز، سوال بسیار جالب بود که ازشان شده بود. اینا هم بسیار اوپنلی جواب دادن. فکر باز گفتن وقتی که قحطی و فقر و غربت و بیچارگی بود در گذشته، چرا یا فعالیت نکردن که حال دفعتاً این فعالیت شروع کردن. خیلی سوالا از در طرف مردمای هستن که اهداف منفی دارن، میخواین که دم حرکت ها یا تأخیر بیارن. بر صورت اینا جواب دادن که شرایط فرق میکرد. دولت به حال موجود بود، کمک ها میرفت، داخلش فساد بود، داخلش پول به مردم نمیرسید، اما یک سیستم حداقل وجود داشت. حال سیستم کلاپس کرده و این استارویشن نیست. این قحطی یا این گرسنگی و گشنگی که مردم ازش میمیره، او گرسنگی نیست. وقت هم بود اما به این اندازه نیست. حال بسیار اوضاع خرابتر هستی که ما شما فکر میکنیم. واقعیت است کل ما خبر داریم پول به افغانستان نمیرسه. وقت پول میرسید، هر کدام ما فامیلای خود حداقل کمک میکردیم، ارگانیزیشن ها پولای زیاد به مردم کمک میکردن. حالا کل چیز بند است. از این خاطر سوال بسیار عمده است که جواب دادن که شرایط فرق داره. از این خاطر ما فشار باعث کسایی که در اینجا آزاد هستیم، گلمکه جان گفت، باعث کسایی که در اینجا میتونیم آزادی خود پرکتیس کنیم، افکار خود، صحبت‌های خود آزاد کنیم، به دان کانگرس بریم، دان وایت هاوس بریم، یعنی صدای ما را مشنونی که باز چی میکنن نمیکنن موضوع علیحده است. اما ما حداقل کار خود انجام میدیم و ببینیم که خدا چی میکنه. برای که هر حرکتی که ما میکنیم خداوند بر ما میگه تو حرکت کو، ما برکت میکنیم. از شما بسیار تشکر که سوال جواب دادیم. من سوال دیگه از شما دارم. If you guys don't mind, I have another question. This is also important. You guys earlier mentioned about petition, that everything started as a petition. Can you guys give me an update give us an update? Where is the petition at this point? What's the status of petition? And also, the next question comes up following this. You guys created a lobbyist group for this to, endorse this. Endorsement is another thing, because we live in this country. Whatever you do, you have to find endorsement for it. And people, groups or congressmen or local officials, they have to endorse it. So tell us a little bit about that. Have you guys done anything, lately at that? Give us an update on that, inshallah. Should I call names?
That's my go, or should I?
I think you should take this one because it was your baby project that bloomed. So you know about where the petition. Well, I know about it too. So go ahead.
So the petition started out before we got the End Starvation group. So it started with a group of people from Netherlands, Afghans from Netherlands, an organization, AAOH. So when I made the announcement on Instagram, when I made a story and a post, who wants to help us, with what's going on in Afghanistan, there was a few people who offered to help, and it was them. So we started the petition then. But we were constantly getting stuck searching things like, what do we really want to demand from the United States of America? Because we were not just thinking of the moment. We're also thinking of the long term. We didn't want Afghanistan to just rely on aid. So that's why, okay, at the moment we will have some aid sent there and okay, voila. The next year, are we again here protesting in front of the embassy and, demanding more things? So that's why we are really taking our time of what demands we want and what this petition will be. So then when I started made a post about the protests, then this new group formed along with some of the people from the petition group, and we start working together. So now we had more people, more experts who came together. Now we started the research group. And this research group is about 10 people who are day and night working on this. They're very emotionally drained because they have to read all these articles that's very heartbreaking. And they have to watch all these news videos that really breaks their heart. And sometimes we tell them, take a break, just leave it for today, go take a break, because they're going through a lot just reading that. So they are almost they just sent us the draft. So we're going to go over the draft of the demands. So the petition, we are trying to post it on our website before the protest happens, if possible. If not, then after the protest, we will post it on our website where people could go sign it, look at it, sign it, and it will be brought to the President of the United States of America to look at and reconsider. Now, having people, political government officials on our side, we are working on that. We are reaching a lot. Our members, our supporters are calling their Congress people, they're calling their representatives. Just because we're just new, we're trying we have a lot of religious organizations now supporting us, Muslim and non-Muslim. We have other humanitarian activist organizations supporting us. So people are coming forward, and soon the politicians will also come forward and support us.
Beautiful said. Thank you so much from both of you. And I get my answer exactly the way I want. So you guys are doing a great job, mashallah. And in the meantime, I see that Engineer Ghulam Fida, which is part of the ARA, it's a group like Afghan Relief Association. And they have a big group also. They involve like about 19, 20 groups. And Iman TV is one of them too. And they're doing different projects for Afghanistan, inshallah. So, they are active. So I'm sure she is listening to us right now. And I will definitely get them involved also if they can do anything for this. And also I ask something else, because we have this TV, alhamdulillah. And right now our priorities are people, to be honest with you. Because over here, alhamdulillah, everybody has something to eat and we have a shelter. And there's no problem over here. Even the new refugees, they have ways to, move on, and there's a lot of support and that. But we have to change our focus to back home. So if you guys want a brief update every week from Iman TV, we could be your voice also. And we could just 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That doesn't have to be this long, because this is the first one. People want to know what you guys doing. What's this? And Afghan starvation is. EAS, ease. I wish there's a E missing, ease. We have to bring ease to our people. So that's what you guys doing. The situation is tough. So yeah, if you guys want to, just use this window somehow that you could raise your voice and, just make other people to be aware of this. We would love to do that. And because it's not your job only. This is all of us should get together, unify ourselves at least one time for the sake of God, for the sake of our people. We have to get together, put our attention, put our hearts on efforts, our expertise, whatever we have. Just do something for people of Afghanistan. Because wallahi, I swear, when I see myself over here, when I came, I was 21 years old, 22, 20. I came here because of my people. People wouldn't allow you to come over here. They got killed. They sacrificed, bloodshed. People got their life. Million people lost their life. We live here comfortably. We owe them. It's not just we doing something. We have to put minnat on them, but as well minnat bone. که ما سر شما منت میمانیم ما شما رو کمک نیم. No. این وظیفه ما خودت است. این مسئولیت و مکلفیت یک انسان است، یک مسلمان است، یک افغان است. و کاری که شما میکنین خورای بسیار عزیز، این کاری که شما میکنین قابل افتخار هستین. با خدا این خودتون امیال کافی معذرت دارین که نکنین. میگه ما 4 اولاد دارم بسم است دیگه، ما چی کدام میتونم؟ یا خودت فاطمه جان یا گلمکه جان. اما کل شما کسایی که برنامه را they are listening to this program, I'm just vow for everybody that they're doing, please don't stop this campaign. This campaign is a very essential, very vital for our people. And we should, in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one day we stand up, we at least say, we did our part. And we could just motivate other people. If people say bad things, it's okay. We have seen a lot, we have heard a lot of these things. We shouldn't stop your motivation. So this is my advice. I mean, so now as far as to give us an update every 15 minutes, I have a program called Reflection on Tuesdays. In 10 minutes of that, I will give an update because of this cause. If you guys want me to do, I'll be more than glad to do that for you.
We will greatly appreciate that. And we appreciate your wisdom. We appreciate your wisdom and knowledge. It's very
Your kindness.
heartwarming to us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
We do have other core members who would come and speak. We have a lawyer, Humaira, who could come speak. We have the research, the people from the research team who could come speak about the research they've done. Ursula, Fanny, they've been very helpful. We have Florence, and we have Brother Jonas and Brother Nasir.
John, we have to make him come.
So we have quite a few people. Instead of seeing our faces all the time, we could bring them in, and it will be very helpful to get the 15 minutes with the updates.
Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, that'd be perfect, because by doing that, at least we support you somehow. And this is a media. I mean, media does everything. Most of the most important thing in any countries right now is media. I mean, I'm not claiming we're a big, TV. In our ability, and we have viewers, alhamdulillah, being active for almost 7-8 years, just serving our people, nothing else. And we're not getting funding from any sources, just people support us, and we gave them programs and education programs, awareness, whatever we can to help our people. But right now the priority has changed, has shifted. We have to focus everything back home. And the situation is tough. Wallahi, I got a call this morning from our team member, and they said, what am I going to do? People in 10 o'clock at night, they knock on my door in village of Kabul, near Kabul. Said they want food. And he said, whatever you do, my kids are almost dying from starving. This is not fun. فاطمه جان خودت ما رو شنیدم که روز یک چیز بسیار خوب گفتی. ما رو میخوایم خودت یک بار دیگه تکرار کنیم، بسیار جالب بود. برای کسایی که میگن ای چطور میشه و چطور میشه، خودت چیزای منفی میگن، گفتی که اگر خودت میخوای واقعا که تجربه استاروینگ تجربه داشته باشی، چی گفتی برش؟ من میخوام از زبان شیرین که گفتی میخوام بشنم. چی گفتی؟
گفتم بسیار آسان است، یک چالش است برای همه که میگه این مهم نیست، شما مطلب دیگر دارین میخواین که پیسر و پول در جیب دیگر کنین. چالنجی است که طبق صبح تیستی نان نخو، دیگر سبب نان نخو، باز یک ماباد کرای خانه تام نتی. ما و شما در امریکا موترهای ما هم در لیست است، بل از وام کامد نتی. هیچ چیز پیجینی یمی الکتریسیتی هم آمد بلش نتی. اینم قرار بشی. باز بیا با ما 2 ماباد بگو که این مهم است، این کمپین ما راستی از دل غریبا آمدیم یا ما میخوایم که پول در جیب دیگر را بکنیم.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it is. حقیقت همی است که کسی گرسنگی را ندیده باشه، تجربه نکرده باشه، از دل گرسنه کی میگی که اگه سیر است. آدم گرسنه باشه گرسنه را درک کنه. و بازی چالش دیگه که ما شما داریم نه تنها گرسنگی است. The challenge is the winter, the cold winter. Wallahi, people, they don't have shoes, they don't have tent. A lot of people living on the streets. It's a disaster. I mean, we heard about Africa, we heard about Syrian and all other people. I know we feel sorry for all of them, but right now this is happening to our own country. And we shouldn't just stay silent, voiceless and do nothing. And that's the reason.
No.
And you guys, what you're doing, Allah bless you. خداوند کدتان باشه. رقم شما جوانای دیگه، رقم شما بزرگای دیگه، متخصصین دیگه، هر کس که در این کار شما را کمک میکنن، فیور برای شما نمیتن، فیور با خود میتن، اما ابلیگیشن خود خلاص میکنن در مقابل خدا و مردم. این منت نیست. ما که رشتیم شما را کمک میکنم، شما از ما تشکری نکنین. ما از شما تشکری میکنم که ما را دیتی اکاز، شما ما را بیدار میسازین. شما بر ما میگین شما خوشیشتین، از اون ملک آمدین، بخیزین، هیچ که نمیتن دست دعا بلند کنین، یک دعا خو کنین. اگر دیگه کار کرده نمیتونین، یک روز نانتان نخورین، پیسهش برای غریب بیچاره از طریق یک ارگانیزیشن روان کنین. اما خواه کردن میتونیم نه inshallah. This is I think we're reaching almost the last minutes of our this show, so we could extend it if you want, but if you guys see necessary to talk more, we can. But if there's anything I didn't ask or you guys didn't cover it, if you want to cover it before we close this, inshallah, you can move on. And from there,
yes,
inshallah, go ahead.
There is one thing, there's an organization or a campaign. It is called Unfreeze the Funds. We want to make it very clear. We are not Unfreeze the Funds. We are not associated with Unfreeze the Funds at all. They are their own campaign. They are still very active in on social media and whatever platforms they use. But we want you to know we have only been established as of realistically November is when we started to blossom. We are End Afghan Starvation. We are not associated with Unfreeze the Funds. Additionally, when you do support us, please do not, use our hashtag and their hashtag right below because we don't want any confusion. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Gulmakai John, I want to hear that you can speak Pashto. Pashto khabari kawa. Any message that you have?
The Pashto ambugo kamo Unfreeze the Funds next time kamardam dar lisan bushnawan. Say we're not part of Unfreeze the Funds in Pashto, so they can hear it in every language.
پشتو می بخیر سامانه دا مگر هو بکم پا پشتو که خبره اول داغ فاطمه وای میز End Afghan Starvation میز کمپین دی یو بل کمپین دی organization دی اغا Unfreeze the Funds اغا میز داغو سرکار نلرو نا دی خپل داغ لره میز خپل کمپین لرو بل شی دغوار موایم برد دوایم میز دفار دعا وکی میز کامیاب سو پدا که کز داغ بیخی آسان کار نده لازم خالق دا کمکس مثل که دست آرد ما شام وشته یا پلات یا 2 ساعت خوب که مگه گردش با وشی گرد رز وشی یا تا دی سی اریا که دی ساعت ما شام وتلی پدا یخ که دا پروتست سرسموی یا مزدل پا کمپیوتر تمام رز ناشو خلوب سر تلفونان کو داغ کو او نور خلق ستان نغوار میز کامیاب سو نزمت دس دعا تا ضرورت لرو دعا میز تپاره وکی میز کامیاب سو الله میز واسو قدرت را که میز پدا که خبال دا مسلمانان خبال دا اغوانان که سیکانی که نی اغوان مسلمانان که ارشایه میز غوار دا دی گرده دا پاره کامک وکو
Inshallah. Thank you so much. I'm just reading a few comments that I get in our Facebook. Brother Farouk Nasim said, well said. چیزایی که شما گفتین تایید میکنه. خوار ما محمود عثمانی دعا میکنه همین رقم که خودت گفتی. نورجهان ماشاءالله گفته و کارتان. شیرین شایده گفته ماشاءالله great job. Keep it up. Superwoman. They call you guys superwoman, mashallah. Whoever is left, inshallah, they are superwoman. Also, Sister Mahmouda says, that's absolutely a wonderful job that you guys doing. So this is all encouragement that comes from our viewers. And Sayara, my lovely wife, says, thank you for being the voice of humanity. May Allah bless you for your efforts. And also say, thank you for being the voice for the needy. May Allah bless you for your efforts. So, and other people watching it now, we're going to just summarize میکنیم کل چیزا را که بر بینده های ما که با فارسی هم اگر دیدن ما فکر میکنم صحبت هایی که داشتیم اولیست که کمپین شما دوام داره. این کمپین است. کمپین به این مانا که یک حرکت یک روزه و 2 روزه نیست. هدف شما لانگ ترم است. شارت ترم فعلا میخواین که استارویشن یا می حالت فقر و بیچارگی و گرسنگی افغانستان مردمشه که در این حالت است یک رای برش پیدا کنین. یکی است. دوم شما که متخصصین که کسایی که در این کار تجربه دارن میفهمن که چی رقم صدای مردم ما برسانیم به مقامات مربوط امریکا. ما فکر میکنم نه تنها امریکا، حتی ما با ممالک اروپایی هم این فعالیت ها حتما جریان داره که اونا هم که از یک صدا شود. امریکا تنها به تنهایی خود چیز کرده نمیتونه، اگه بکنه میتونه، اما ما دیگه مردم هم به حساب کرد از یا کوردینیت شود که یا وایس مردم افغانستان بشنون، قسمت پالیتیکس یا نبینن. پالیتیکس خودشان کرییت کرده، این سیچویشن خودشان کرییت کرده، کلیشان با دست خودشان است، اما ما در ساید مردم خود هستیم که نا هلپلس هستن. بعد از خدا کسی را ندارن، بعد از خدا من و تو امثال ما و تو کسایی است. گل از یاییست و در این زمینه از ما خودت پشتیبانی میخواین، دعا میخواین، میگه هر چی که شما کرده میتونین با اولادایتان بگین که ما یک جای شون. برای کسایی که خرد و کلان مشکل نیست، از کلان یک دعا. و جوان که میگه مقصدم سن نیست، 30 40 50، من جوان خودم میگم، چرا نگویم؟ درست گپ سر ریش سفید و سر سفید نیست. قلب آدم، فکر آدم جوان باشه، همیشه جوان هستی. ما که جوانا باید میگه همت پیران جوانان را به منزل میکشد. امی پیرا اگه نباشه جوانا از کجا میشه؟ اگه امی پیرا ما شما به حساب ما را بزرگ نمیکردن، مادرای ما، پدرای ما و غیره بزرگای ما در کجا اینجی صحبت ها را میکنن؟ پس نتیجه گپی است که اگه شما گپایتان خلاصه کنین و خلاصه فقط به چند نقطه آخر مسیج خودت فاطمه جان و همچنان خودت گلمکه جان، مسیج آخرتان بر مردمتان بر زبانه که خوش دارین بگوین که ما پروگرام انشالله به ختم برسانیم. تشکر یک جهان.
تشکر.
مسابقه است.
تشکر از شما. احترام است که مطلب میشم که گلمکه جان از شما تشکری میکنم. عزیز جان تشکر بازم که ما را در برنامه تان دعوت کردین. Thank you so much for having us on your show. Other than that, my message to the Afghan community is that this is just a very simple campaign. It's a humanitarian issue. ما شما هم دست شویم، ما شما هم نظر شویم، یک جای باشیم که مردم جهان هم امرای ما باشن، توجه کنن بعد از این فقر و گرسنگی که در افغانستان هست. اگر ما شما امرای یکی دیگه رفاقت نباشه در بین ما، دیگه مردم هم امرای ما کمک نمیکنن، میگن خودتان در بین خود جور نمین، ما را چی؟ So we have to come together. It's a time for unity. We have to get our country and the people out of the situation. I've done one night of research on this, in this starvation, and it has traumatized me. I can't imagine what our research team goes through. So a challenge a little less severe than starving yourself is to go and look into it yourself, research it yourself, and then you will also come and say, you know what, you guys are right. We need to fix the situation. Let's join hands. That's it.
Thank you, Fatma John. گلمکه جان خودت closing statement میگی، هر چیزی که خودت میگی انشالله.
First, thank you for having us. May Allah bless your efforts. May Allah give you the best of this dunya and akhirah to you and your family, and to the Iman TV, whoever supports it and runs it. We are very grateful that you gave us this voice to speak for our innocent people in Afghanistan who have been going through 43 years of trauma, which, you know, no one really hears their voice. So we're very grateful. And people out there, come support us in any way you can. Don't hold back if you think there's some misunderstanding you have. Call us, email us, reach out to us, and we will have a meeting with you. We will tell you what our plans are. We're not political. We have no hate for anyone. We just want peace in our country. We want our people to eat. We want our people to sleep well. We want our people to go to school. We want our people to have an education, a career. We want our people to have a country where they could live in comfort and prosperity. That's our main goal only, nothing else. No politics, no personal agenda. That's not us. We are just for the people, and that's it.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much. I think this is a real message, and a lot of people just vow for you guys for what you're doing. Inshallah, alhamdulillah, you're going to be successful. یک برادر ما به نام آصف جان وایدی که اینا در افغانستان هستن، اینا در مسیح خیری ایمان فاندیشن یا مسیح خیری ایمان اونجا را پیش میبرن. امیال بر من مسیج کرده از شما بسیار تشکری میکنم از پروگرامی که دارین بر افغانستان. همون کسی است که شب و روز دروازش تق تق زده میشه و مردم میگه نان بده، بیچاره خودش چیز نمیخوره، نان خود که دیگرها شریک میسازه، میگه چطور ما بگویم در مقابل یک هموطن. یعنی اوضاع به این اندازه است. و اگر شما اجازه میتین یک کلیپ یکی از چیزهای واتساپ که شما داشتین، یک دختر جوان صحبت کرده، واقعا مرا صحبتاش بسیار افکتیو بود. اگه اجازه میتین او رو شیر کنیم که بیننده های خود میخواین.
بله، فیروزه جان است نامشان. فیروزه بسیار فعالیت زیاد دارند در اینستاگرام، بسیار سنشان هم فرد است، جوان هستند، 18 سال هستند. بسیار افتخار میکنیم سر فیروزه جان.
بله، برای که اگه برای کسایی که نمیال در خانه هستند، مادرای و پدرایی که باید پروگرام رو تماشا میکنن، جوانای خدا بگین بین صحبتای شما را شنیدن. حال صحبت یک دختر که اونام جوان هستن گفته شما بسیار مقبول صحبت کردن. ببینین که در چی فکر است. ماشاءالله. یک ثانیه من میارم کلیپشان ان شاء الله.
23 million people starving in Afghanistan right now. Afghans around the country are already struggling with the coronavirus, the drought, and now this upcoming winter. Things are not looking well. Food is something we privileged human beings take for granted. A woman in central Afghanistan told Human Rights Watch, when you don't have food on your plate, you cannot think of anything else. And she's right. Not only are families selling their possessions
Her voice is muted. I think, Imam, if you're muted, so her voice is muted.
Has nothing to do with food. And Afghan starvation will not sit silent as 23 million people are starving. Their mission is to raise awareness and advocate on behalf of the millions of Afghans.
I'm sorry, that was my fault. I have to do this one again.
Starving.
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
23 million people are starving in Afghanistan right now. Afghans around the country are already struggling with the coronavirus, the drought, and now this upcoming winter. Things are not looking well. Food is something we privileged human beings take for granted. A woman in central Afghanistan told Human Rights Watch, when you don't have food on your plate, you cannot think of anything else. And she's right. Not only are families selling their possessions for food, but they're also selling their organs and their daughters. This is disgusting. Do you know unreported that 10 out of 11 of Afghanistan's most urban areas are at risk of food insecurity? Things are getting worse, and we cannot just sit silent and let this happen. This is why the campaign End Afghan Starvation has come together to vouch for the Afghans who are facing famine right now. End Afghan Starvation is linked up with the Afghan diaspora in the United States, Europe, and across the world. This neutral group knows that politics has nothing to do with food. And Afghan starvation will not sit silent as 23 million people are starving. Their mission is to raise awareness and advocate on behalf of the millions of Afghans suffering right now. Their goal to end starvation is nothing without your help. This campaign knows that children are our future, and without them, nothing can happen. High rates of death and malnourishment in children is something so disgusting, yet is still prevailing today. And Afghan starvation knows that without healthy children, and Afghan starvation requests lawmakers around the world to help end this crisis. Once again, we will not remain silent, and neither should we. Defending the community is our number one goal. I urge you all to go to endafghanstarvation.org where you can find more information on how to help. Also, please join us in protest at Washington, D.C. on December 19th. At 12 o'clock, we will be protesting at the White House to help end this famine. Before I go, I just want to remind you all that you do not need to be Afghan to help support this cause. You just have to be human. Without unity, people will continue to suffer and die, and it's up to us to help stop that. Please join me in supporting End Afghan Starvation. And remember, united we stand, divided we fall.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry there was some technical difficulties as far as voice, so there's not much we can do because the station is in the center and kind of hard to communicate. Anyways, Alhamdulillah, pretty much we covered it, and ما بسیار خوشحال شدم که شما را داشتم در این پروگرام با خود. سر شما واقعا افتخار میکنیم، سر شما و امثال کسایی که رقم شما حاضر شدن تایم خود پرتن و خودت در پنسیلوانیا میاله هستی، گلمکه جان، شما فاطمه جان در کالیفرنیا هستین، 3 سال تفاوت از بین ما شما. اما الحمدلله یک نیت نیک است، یک حرکت نیک است. This is a good cause and inshallah we continue this all the way. We're not going to stop. Even people find food, we're going to just create a voice, a system for the future, not just for right now. Because our plan is always temporary. We do something, when things fix, then we stop doing it. We have to make something, just to last long, and a foundation. Like you guys talk about foundation the other day, and you guys are building this foundation. When the foundation is built, inshallah, we can build anything on that. دیگه بازم شما یک جان تشکر. اگر کدام سوال و کدام کنسرن دیگه نداشته باشه، پروگرام امروز به ختم میرسونیم. صدا میگن خراب است اما چاره نداریم، برای که مشکلات فیسبوک است، ببخشید مشکلات زوم است و ما مشکلات خود داریم. کم ما و کرم کسایی که شنیدن اما مسیج گرفتن، پیام گرفتن. دیگه در غیر زوم از شما بازم یک بار دیگه تشکر میکنم. شما رو به خداوند کریم میسپارم. تشکر از اینکه حاضر شدین، وقتتان به ما دادین، ما در خدمتتان هستیم قرار که گفت. شما میتونین خداحافظی کنین که بیننده های ما و پروگرام خود از اینجا به ختم میرسیم.
خداحافظ شما. تشکر بازم.
سلام. و از بیننده های خودم تشکر میکنیم با حوصله پروگرام تا والا دیدن و شنیدن و کامنت کردن و اینا خود این رول بازی کردن که شما بازی میکنین. برای که میام یک نوع پشتیبانی است. امیدوار هستم که این چیره و حسابی برنامه را شیر کنن، شریک بسازن با دیگران که آواز از یک آواز به آوازها تبدیل شد. ان شاء الله موفق و کامیاب باشین. شب شما خوش گلمکه جان در پنسیلوانیا و روز شام شما خوش در کالیفرنیا. خداوند یار و مددگارتان تا برنامه آینده. خدا همراهتان باشه. السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته. خدا حافظ.